Hello and welcome to KennyRoy.com. I'm Kenny Roy, and this is the Ask Videomail for the week of March 4th, 2013. Welcome to the site to the new members, and welcome back to the old members. The Ask Videomail is your chance to get your question in character animation or performance answered in a video just like this one, but I need your question if I'm going to answer it, so please send your questions to webmaster at KennyRoy.com. I go through all the questions and I answer the ones I think will help the most people. There's no such thing as a stupid question, and it is the best way to get the most out of this site. That was the intro, and last month I ran a contest. If you sent in a video of yourself recording the intro, you got a chance to win one of two copies of How to Cheat in Maya 2013, if it was the best, if I deemed it the best. And I had no entries up until the last day, and then 5 or 6 people entered. So I knew it would happen that way. God, why do you guys wait so long? Come on. I guess it's because you're animators. Come on, procrastinating a little bit? All right. So I'm going to watch those, and I will announce the winners next week in the video mail. So definitely come back here and watch the video mail if you entered, or even if you didn't, and cheer everybody on, congratulate them. You're going to love it. So there is a site redesign going on right now. Actually, it's been going on for the past couple of weeks. And I have a development server that I have to copy everything over. So if things get a little bit crazy this week, don't worry, don't freak out. It's just I'm copying settings and files and CSS and all that stuff. And the site will just, it'll be back to normal. But there is a really, 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 really awesome feature coming to the site that I'm very excited to show you guys. And what it is that you will from now on be able to have a choice between either pay-per-view to see an old lecture or video mail, or download. And the pay-per-view is going to be less than the download. So if you don't want that digital file, you just want to watch a past lecture or whatever, you can get caught up here on KennyRoy.com for less money and more convenience. So I'm very excited about that. All of the old content, every single video, and there are hundreds, well, not hundreds, there's over 150 videos. They will all be available for you to just peruse and consume. I know a lot of people have been asking me over the years, why are the video mail packs, why are they like that? Well, because MemberGate, the site software that I use, has a shopping cart, but it is extremely cumbersome to make a new product, so I had to bundle them together. Now, no longer. You'll still get the video mail packs that you can buy in the store, but you'll be able to pay-per-view any video mail that has already been archived and lecture. So how awesome is that? Also, everything is going to be standardized across the site. All of the page widths and all of the paragraphs and the spacing, the fonts and everything, like it's long overdue. Also, the Google ads are going to be moved out of the way. Actually, they're going to be over here. They're just going to be moved out of your way, so you don't have to kind of fish through the Google ads to get to anything. So I really hope you like the way the site's going to look, and blog about it, tweet about it, post a Facebook status update. It really helps if you guys get social with your interaction here at KennyRoy.com. I appreciate it a lot. Let's go into the question this week. Sort of a technical question, but also sort of like a workflow and preference thing. Why don't you take a look? Yeah, great question. This comes down to personal preference. Also, there are a few tools. Kevin Jackson, if you Google Kevin Jackson or go to his YouTube page, you'll see he has a really handy dandy walkthrough of a character that has a lot of aerial movement, a lot of aerial action. And basically what it is, I can't show it because it has the Anim School rig, so we can't show that. But if you go and you check that out, it's a really handy dandy script, and what it does is it takes all of your world transforms that, or actually your object transforms that are in the object space of that master controller, okay? And it actually, if you pose using the master controller, it will bake your animation back onto your body controls. okay, and it'll leave the master controller at home. All right, so that's really super convenient for people who need to really like flip somebody around or do like this really acrobatic thing, or if they're spending a lot of time in air, or you're doing a lot of spins or whatever it is, because the master controller is a lot easier because it brings everything with it. Some studios, they don't like you to use the master controller. There's a myriad of reasons why they don't like it. There might be some dynamics that don't work at that upper node. There might be some lighting issues. There might be incompatibility with other rigs. There's a million reasons why they would tell you not to use that master controller, and that's why that script is actually useful. So check that out, his script. His little script tutorial. Kevin Jackson is the name of that animator, and he shows you basically what to do. What I do is I actually really rely on very few scripts. My Maya is pretty much like vanilla. Like right when you install, you've got the Maya that I use. I have hotkeys that I saved. I have a few scripts, really just like some little kind of like rigging things that help me out, that kind of thing, renamers, selecting tools and that kind of stuff. But I really don't, I don't know, I've always just been nervous relying on extending and expanding the functionality of Maya, and then having to depend on that when I don't know if it's going to break or if it's going to be incompatible on something that I really need it to use, and I don't know, I guess I just don't trust that a person sitting at home developing a script is going to be as accountable, I should say, for their script as, like, say, Autodesk is for Maya to work. Does that make sense? So I know I'm a little neurotic, but that being the case, when I do a character that has to do a total flip and just land back again, normally I do it using the body controls and switching to FK arms and legs when they jump up in the air. But another thing that I do sometimes, and it's a hack, and it's a little bit of a cheat here, but the end result, if you are allowed to use a master controller, it is using the master controller. If you're allowed to use the master controller, then I say kind of why not? So anyway, I'll show you what it is. Check it out. All right, so here is a scene with just good old Morpheus, and he's standing still. So what you'll notice is that you have a little bit of pain in your butt if you wanted to make this like guy jump up in the air, like tuck his knees, and then do a flip, right? Because you kind of have this nasty rotation point fighting against you, okay? So what I do sometimes in a scene, again, where I'm allowed to use the master controller, and we don't have any like really crazy rigging or lighting or dynamics things that go on top of our rigs that would make it so that we can't use that. I just change the pivot point to where the center of the jump is going to be, right? So if he's going to be doing a backflip, let me quickly just like pose his arms down so that they're not distracting. So if he's going to do a backflip, what I may do is I actually will animate his body jumping and leaping up, okay? And there's a moment where you blend from the movement of his body controller to the movement of his center controller, right? So you move the pivot point by holding down D, and I would move it, and don't worry about that. That's just because it's parent constrained, or the group that holds this little control system is parent constrained by the master controller's pivot point. And this doesn't make a difference to anything, so don't worry about that. I would move it up somewhere, around here. All right, and then as he jumps off the ground, kind of just make a little bit of an effort to make these controls kind of look like they're actually working. And bring his knees up to his chest a little bit. Okay, something like this. Okay. Then looking at this, basically this transition, what you have to do is you have to make sure that it looks, like a nice bouncing ball. And so we have already, there's been like 4 or 5 Ask Videomails where I've said, basically, why not create a visual reference for what you're doing? So basically the moment when it leaves the ground is when the acceleration has basically stopped, and then it's a bouncing ball from then on. So right on this frame is the last frame where he's on the ground, so this is the starting my bouncing ball. So I'm going to just, animate a bouncing ball, something like that, and just play with my tangents until my bouncing ball. In fact, let me just put this on a new, not anim layer, why did I do that? New render layer. This is another quick tip. Sometimes hiding and doing all this stuff is such a pain in the butt. Just grab your object, put it on a new render layer, and then it basically is like the quickest way to just isolate the that object, right? So I'm just going to play this. It could be a little bit higher, right? Just a little bit, and it could go just a little bit quicker. So I'm going to shave 2 frames off of this. Let me flat this and break the tangents. It could just plateau just a little bit more slow. Okay. So so here now we have our bouncing ball, right? So let me start them a lot lower. Okay. So here we have our bouncing ball, and now we can just make sure that the master controller here is doing basically the exact same thing. In fact, we could ostensibly parent constrain it and get into a whole mess of problems. But let's just pretend like he's doing a backflip off of like a platform. So I'm going to have him go backwards just a little bit, okay? Just like this. And just pretend like this is the, what do you call it? This is the ledge he's standing on, right? Then the rotation. I don't like to mess with rotation in the panel when it's something that is like guaranteed to gimbal and like a 360-degree spin. I mean, how much more dangerous can you get in terms of the area of gimbal, right? So what I do is I just do a little bit of rotation, and then I jump into the graph editor like this, and grab the rotation. I see which direction it's going, either positive or negative, and then I just kind of like eyeball it in the graph editor with the eyeball on the panel as well to see, okay, 360 is right here, right? So, so there you kind of have it. The translate Y of this should look pretty much like the translate Y of this guy. So we can kind of make them pretty much mirror each other like this. Like I said, you could parent constrain it, maintaining offset, but no reason to get too bogged down with that kind of technical stuff right now. Okay, I can hide this, and now I have my character. Oops. I keyed the visibility, right? Didn't want to do that. And now we have him doing his flip. We can continue him. We can have him continue to fall down. So that let's see right here. Another really quick tip. Check this out. So if you have buffer curves on, if you're not using buffer curves, come on. What are you waiting for? Anyway, so I buffer this. And now I could make a keyframe right here and try to continue, this curve, but really, it's just, for me, it's just as fast to just extend this and keep an eye on, keep an eye on that buffer curve right there. Just extend this downwards and play with the tangent until I'm satisfied that the buffer curve is being kind of met, like that. You know? It's all about keyframe economy. Just keep things really, really tidy, guys. Okay? So let me turn off the show curves. And we want the beginning momentum to, we want this curve on this to definitely match that acceleration, right? So we need to make this curve look like it really is like ramping up as well on that Y. There we go, that looks better. Turn off curve so we can see. So there you have it. Cool, right? So if you have the ability, if you're not going to get in trouble, if you're not going to piss off your lighter or your rigger or anyone who has to touch your scene after you're done with it, then the master controller is really simple to use. Obviously, if it gets really complex, like he uncurls from that, I wouldn't recommend using the master controller. I just kind of brute force it. My workflow is maybe it could use a little bit of refinement or some extra tools. But you know, I will investigate those you know, as time goes on. It's kind of an open process, as workflow is for everybody. But one more time, let me remind you what you're looking for. Kevin Jackson is his name, K-Jax. He goes by that moniker when he's doing animation videos. He has a video that shows off a script used on a shot where he has a character making a leap for a sort of like a parallel bar, and they do like a flip off of the thing. Perfect use for that kind of script, and what it does is it bakes your master controller transforms onto the world or the object IK controllers inside your rig. Very, very cool. So, but great question, very technical, and I like you know, showing off a little bit of Maya while I'm doing that. I hope you enjoyed that. You can send me your Maya file. It makes it really easy for me to see what your problems are if you send me your Maya file, so please send them. Also, in terms of Ask Videomail questions, I get Ask Videomail questions, but I get them from like the usual suspects. There are a lot of members out there who have never asked an Ask Videomail question. What are you waiting for? Send one in. Just go for it. There's no such thing as a stupid question, I promise. If there was, I've asked it already, so you don't have to feel embarrassed. Just send anything in. Or if you're just stuck on your file, send me your Maya file. If you just don't know what to do with your animation, send me your Maya file. Maybe I'll open it up and I'll tell you where I think you should go. We'll have some fun like that. Look around the site for some awesome, oh, don't look. Uh-oh, no, you can see it. It's good. Look around the site for the design update coming soon and the pay-per-view videos. I'm so excited about this. This is a long time in coming and a major announcement. Major. Coming very soon. Keep an eye on Facebook and Twitter. Follow me on those sites. Good luck with your animation. And as always, rock on.